My story, when I was 16, I found out that I was pregnant, and initially, you know, adoption was in the forefront of my mind. You know, I had thought some about parenting. Abortion really wasn't an option for me because I felt that I was in this situation because of my actions, and I didn't want someone else to have to take the responsibility for that.
It will be 10 years in November, and I think you'll hear people say it over and over again. Of all the decisions that I've ever made in my life, I knew that this was the 100% most right decision I could have ever made.
I've never in my life been so sure about anything, and just every time I see him, I know this is the best decision I made in my entire life.
I'm glad I didn't have the abortion, and there's times where I do grieve. You're going to have your sad times, but when you look at her, you know that she's got the mom and the dad and a good foundation, and you know, growing up in a Christian home and has everything provided for her, you know that you did the right decision.
One of the biggest things for me in choosing adoption, I was 16 years old when I found out I was pregnant, and I knew even at that time that I couldn't give her a dad. I grew up in a single-parent home, and my mom is absolutely incredible. She's the best mom in the world. But I also grew up in an area where all of my friends came from two-parent homes, and so it was very, you know, I was the odd person out. Didn't have a dad, but I was adopted by all of my friends' dads, and that was nice. But there were those times whenever I'd see, you know, my best friend sit with her father, and they'd have that relationship and that connection, and that's always been something that I've always longed for in my life, and it's been a blessing that, you know, of course I have my mom involved in my life, and God has used different people to bless me and be like a father figure. But if I could give that to her, I wanted to be able to do that. And whenever I see her with you know, Dean and how how the two of them interact, like when she was younger and he'd pick her up and he'd hold her, and I get to see her with her dad. And then, you know, Jeanette's the best cook in the whole entire world, you know, and she makes cookies and she's incredible, and she homeschooled, and they gave her this incredible gift of life. You know, I gave birth to her, but they gave her, they really are giving her a life, and I'm so blessed to be able to see that and be a part of that, and open adoption allows for that to happen. I did get to choose. CPO is the Crisis Pregnancy Outreach, most amazing organization, and without them I don't know where I'd be today. I don't know where Anna would be today, but I did choose them. And I was given a life book, which is basically a scrapbook of introducing Dean and Jeanette and their family to me. That's how I met them first. And then from there I chose to go ahead and have a meeting. And Cheryl, who's over CPO, always used to take people to Peppers, which was right by my high school. And we met there in a little booth, and I was huge. We met there, and I remember first meeting them and sitting across the seat from them. They had just experienced a failed adoption where their had a birth mother had chosen to go ahead and change her mind. And I saw in them how even in that brief moment that they had connected with that child, and that it was theirs, and they were going through a grieving process as a result. And I knew in that instant that they were mom and dad. Like I can't explain it, but there was just that feeling, that instance of meeting them and knowing.
My mom researched different places where I could go and talk to other people that were experiencing a similar thing, and she was also very supportive of adoption as a decision. And I began going to CPO at her request, and at first it was very difficult, you know, having to talk to people that had different ideas than I did about some things. But after not too long, you know, I decided that adoption truly was the best thing for myself and for my child. And I was introduced to the barracks, and which was a great experience. And just right away, I think we all really felt close to each other and very comfortable with each other, and that made the adoption experience truly a pleasant thing for me, you know. And I really feel like I gained a family rather than losing a child. just a lot of things factored into my decision-making process, and one thing that was really important for me was going to see the counselor that's provided by CPO, and I went on a weekly basis, and she was just very helpful in helping me as a 16-year-old see what reality was really like, because I hadn't had to pay the bills before, or pay for gas or insurance or a car and all these kind of things, and then plus what baby and child expenses are. And it really helped me get grounded and think seriously about if it was something that I could really do. And additionally, college was always something that was very important to me, and there really wasn't a way that I was going to be able to support a child, let alone go to school and further my education. And that was something that was beneficial for me, is that I knew that Lauren was happy and well taken care of, and I was also able to go to college and get a degree and give myself the kind of life that I deserved as well. It was definitely the hardest decision I've ever had to make, and it took me, I think, 6 months to actually make the decision that I made, but I feel confident it's the most important, best thing I've done in my life, and regardless of what happens, I can always feel good about where Lauren is and the decision I made for her. I'll always feel proud of that.
And I know, even though I had him, I know this is their kid. I love watching them with him. And when we're together, it's like, here, you want to hold your son? I'm like, yeah, but I want to watch you. And it's really good. He's teaching him sign language. And mine and Valerie's relationship isn't always based on what's Trenton doing, how's Trenton doing. I mean, she's a friend. I call her when things go wrong. I call her when exciting things happen. It's really awesome. I get to see him, I think, a lot more than most mothers do get to see him. I mean, it's not like planned or scheduled, but we've been kind of doing it like every week. And it's just awesome.
I had told the father that I was pregnant, and he wanted me to have an abortion. I did consider it. I had made 2 appointments and couldn't see myself doing it. And so I thought, okay, if I'm not going to do the abortion, I'm going to parent this child, but she's just not going to have a dad, and she's, we're going to have to live on welfare, and that's just not the life that I wanted her to have. I got with CPO, went to a lot of their meetings, and they were very supportive. I got to hear the other birth mom stories, and I would think, oh, I could never do this, this isn't right, but you have to think of what's best for that child. I just felt peace about it. You'll know when you go through these life books, you will know in your heart if that's the family. You have to pray about it and know. You won't just go, oh, I don't know if that's the one. You will know if that's the one. That's it. When I heard about open adoption, I was like, oh, you have to be involved with this child. You're going to have to come around. And there's different levels of open adoption. You can either exchange pictures, letters, or you can choose not to have any contact. With the birth father, he didn't want to have anything to do with her, but he did allow me to get a picture of him, so when she gets older, she will know what her birth father looked like. With open adoption, when I first became familiar with it, I was like, oh, I can't do this. This isn't for me. This isn't healthy. I want to bond with the child. I never did that. And as time grows, it will grow on you. And so a lot of girls that I have met choose not to have any contact. Some of them see their birth child a lot. Some of them don't. A lot of them are out of state. Some of them are in state. So it just depends on what's comfortable for you and what is going to be healthy for you and the parents and the child. I never thought in a million years I would have a baby and place it for an adoption. But, that's what happened, and I don't regret my decision at all.